You think budgeting means restriction, sacrifice, and saying no to everything. But the truth is much simpler and more uncomfortable. People don't fail at budgeting because they can't do math. They fail because they never learned how to control desire, impulse, and identity around money. You've probably tried before. You told yourself you'd start fresh next month. You downloaded an app. You wrote a few numbers. Maybe you even built a nice-looking spreadsheet. And then life happened. A friend called. A sale popped up. You were stressed. You bought things you didn't plan for. And the budget slowly died. You tell yourself you'll be more disciplined tomorrow. But tomorrow looks a lot like yesterday. You look at your bank balance and think, I make money. So where is it going? You feel guilty when you spend and frustrated when you try to save. You want control, but your money feels like it controls you. This isn't about intelligence. It's about psychology. The real reason budgeting feels hard is because most people think a budget is a financial tool. It isn't. A real budget is a behavior system. It's a way of telling your money what to do before your emotions do it for you. And when you understand that, budgeting stops feeling restrictive and starts feeling like freedom. Now here's the part nobody tells you. Budgeting has levels. And you don't leap from chaos to perfection overnight. You move through stages. Each stage upgrades your relationship with money. If you skip them, you fall back. If you move through them, things finally click. Let's walk through those levels, beginner to advanced, and you'll see exactly where you are right now. And more importantly, who you're becoming. Beginner-level budgeting starts with one simple shift: awareness over control. Most beginners try to control spending immediately. They start cutting, limiting, and punishing themselves. That's why they quit. You cannot control what you don't understand yet. So the first stage is brutally simple. Track where your money already goes. Not perfectly, not obsessively, just honestly. For 30 days, write down every expense. Coffee, snacks, online orders, random subscriptions you forgot existed. Don't try to change anything yet. Just watch yourself. This alone changes people, because you start seeing patterns you never noticed. You realize how much of your spending is automatic, emotional, boredom-based, stress-based, identity-based. You see how often you spend to feel better, not to live better. And something clicks. The problem wasn't not enough money. The problem was invisible leaks. Here's where most people get it wrong. They jump straight to complicated budgeting systems, categories, color coding, apps, rules, that overloads your brain. A beginner doesn't need complexity. A beginner needs clarity. Once you know where your money is going, you move to the next stage. The second level is the simple budget. Think of it like training wheels. At this stage, your goal is not optimization. The goal is to build the habit of telling money where to go before it leaves. There's a simple method that works. 3 buckets. Needs, wants, future. Needs are housing, food, transportation, essential bills. Wants are lifestyle choices, eating out, upgrades, entertainment. Future is savings, investing, debt payoff, money you're giving to your future self. You don't need perfect percentages. You just need intentional ones. For example, you decide, this amount goes to needs. This amount goes to wants. This amount goes to future. The exact numbers don't matter at first. What matters is the identity shift. Money is no longer something that happens to you. You're directing it. You'll notice something interesting here. When you label money for the future, it becomes harder to steal it from yourself. You hesitate before spending it, because it has a purpose now, a name, a direction. That hesitation is not guilt. That hesitation is awareness. That's progress. But this is where most people fall off. They create the buckets and forget about one brutal truth: your brain hates restriction. If you make a budget that feels like punishment, your mind will find a way to break it. That's why crash diets fail. That's why hyper-restrictive budgets collapse. So here's the real upgrade. You don't remove all your wants. You plan your wants. Yes, fun money is part of a serious budget. When you give yourself permission to enjoy life, your brain stops rebelling. The The budget becomes sustainable. You're no longer fighting yourself. You're directing yourself. And when you can do that consistently, you're ready for the next level. The third level is zero-based budgeting. This is where you move from, "I hope this works," to, "I know exactly where every dollar lives." The idea is simple. Every dollar you earn gets a job. Not most of them, every single one. Income minus expenses equals zero, not because you spent it all, but because every dollar has been assigned somewhere. If a dollar is unassigned, it will disappear. Assume that. This method forces intentionality. You don't save whatever is left. You decide the saving first. You don't see what happens with debt. You allocate to it. You don't casually spend. You plan spending like a strategy, not an accident. And here's the psychological shift happening underneath. You're training your brain to see money as a tool, not a mood. Your spending stops being reactive and becomes proactive. You start asking different questions. Not, "Can I afford this today?" but, "Is this aligned with the story of where I'm going?" That's the beginning of financial adulthood. Not age-wise, identity-wise. And once you're here, something powerful becomes possible. You can now move to the advanced level. Advanced budgeting is not about more rules. It's about less friction. At this level, your goal isn't to constantly think about money. Your goal is to design systems so money flows automatically to the right places even when you're busy, tired, or emotional. Because emotions are when money mistakes happen. So here's the first advanced move: automation. You automate savings transfers. You automate investment contributions. You automate bill payments. You automate debt repayment. You make the right thing the default thing. And suddenly, discipline requires less willpower. You don't depend on motivation anymore. You depend on systems. The second advanced move is sinking funds. These are mini accounts for predictable but irregular expenses. Car repairs, gifts, travel, insurance renewals. Instead of being surprised every year by things that were never actually a surprise, you save for them a little at a time. Chaos becomes calm. The third advanced move is paying yourself first. This is where wealth psychology truly changes. Instead of saving whatever is left after life, you invert the order. You fund your future before you fund your lifestyle. Not because you're depriving yourself, but because you've decided who comes first, your future self, not your impulses. This is the identity shift wealthy people make early. Money starts to feel different. You don't chase it emotionally. You manage it logically. You don't feel lucky when you have extra. You feel prepared. And preparation quietly replaces anxiety. There is one more level though. The quiet, invisible one. The level where budgeting becomes less about money and more about who you are when no one is watching. The deepest level of budgeting is emotional mastery. You start noticing when you spend to avoid feelings, when you buy to reward yourself, when you use money to escape boredom, stress, loneliness, or comparison. You begin seeing that budgeting wasn't about numbers at all. It was about self-honesty. You realize that every purchase carries a story. I worked hard. I deserve this. I feel behind. This will make me feel ahead. I'm stressed. This will help. Sometimes it does help. Often it doesn't. And here's the quiet truth. People don't overspend because they're bad with money. They overspend because they're trying to solve emotional problems with financial tools. A real budget forces you to face that. It asks questions numbers alone never ask. What am I really trying to feel? What am I trying to avoid? Who am I trying to impress? That's why budgeting, when done right, makes you calmer. Not because you suddenly have millions, but because you stop lying to yourself. And when you stop lying to yourself, control returns. Not loud control, calm control. The kind of control where you know what you earn, where it goes, why it goes there, and how it shapes your future. The kind of control where surprise expenses don't break you, and lifestyle desires don't own you. Budgeting stops being a restriction. It becomes self-respect. If budgeting has always felt hard for you, it doesn't mean you're bad with money. It means you were trying to jump to the advanced level before you mastered the basic ones. First, awareness. then simple structure, then intentional assignment, then automated systems, then emotional honesty. That's the real journey. And here's the quiet realization most people never reach. A powerful budget isn't about limiting your life. It's about designing it. If what you heard made sense to you, it's not an accident. It means you're already shifting from money happens to me to money responds to me. That shift doesn't just change your bank balance. It changes who you become.